Hey, hi everyone. This is Ranmay here on your show eCoffee with Experts. Today we have Matthew Morales from LUD Marketing with us. Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's really good to see you. Good to be here. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Great. Matthew, before we move forward, I'd request you to introduce yourself to our audiences and then we'll take it on from there.
Of course. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Morales, author of Never Be Poor Again, A Guide to Money as a Spiritual Practice, and the CEO of Let's Stream Marketing, where we do beautiful website designs, SEO, and advertising.
Great. We're going to talk about it in detail as we move forward. Super. So, Matthew, you have traveled so much, like we spoke earlier, right? Can you please tell us more about your philosophy and principle when it comes to designing successful businesses and how you relate it with your journey of life, your travels, the learnings that you've acquired through this overall journey?
Yeah. Great question. So, yeah, as everyone knows, my book says A Guide to Money as a Spiritual Practice. Because as he said, I traveled, went to India, Nepal, Thailand, Philippines, Guam. And as I was traveling for these multiple years and living in these countries is when I decided to start applying the principles from all the books that I read. And what I learned was that every single book written by millionaires had the same underlying principles. And it was those principles that I was ignoring. And so I was able to take those principles and realize that these are actually not only spiritual laws, but laws of nature and physics, as well as laws of finances, and they're all related. And that's why I came up with this realization through my travels that it's a spiritual practice because they're all related. And I infused that in my business.
Superb. Superb. Yeah. So, talking about website and SEO design, because that's primarily what you have been into for so long now, how important do you think website design and optimization of it is for businesses to generate more leads and attract new customers? And what are some of the key parameters that you look for, or any, according to you, any business should focus upon to drive home more leads or more revenue for that matter?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question as well. So I did want to say I do have two business partners, Drew and Gabriel. And Drew is the website designer. He does great website design and structure, while Gabriel is the graphic designer. He does beautiful graphic design. And over the years, what I've learned is that it all comes down to the presentation. You need something that's beautiful and eye catching. You need someone that's something that's straight to the point and telling you what people are doing. And you need to bring it to people that care about that product. And these things are really important. We've learned that you need to one, make a gorgeous website, but also the website in itself doesn't do anything. So you need to bring people to the website so that when they see it, they
You're
see the
right.
value.
Absolutely. You might end up having a fantastic website with no footfalls. So it does not really matter how beautiful is your website. So optimization also plays a very key role in terms of driving home those leads, those revenue, and all that things that come along with that. And automation is a very key aspect of any agency's marketing strategy. I'd request you to throw some light in terms of how do you feel automation plays a very crucial role in your marketing strategies, and what MarTech softwares or platforms do you rely upon to save time and increase efficiency at the same time?
Yeah. So, in turn, we follow this rule that a business is the process of being duplicatable. And so we're always trying to create systems and to automate systems because ultimately, when you start a business, you want to run your business. You don't
Mm,
want your business to run you. And so in order to do that, we need to create some kind of structure, some kind of automation so that
mhm,
all of the roles are always being taken care of. And there's two ways to automate, right? You automate with tools and you automate with people. Hiring people helps automate roles. Getting tools helps automate roles. So internally in our company, what we've done is, like you said, we're trying to clockwork or make our business self-sustainable. If I wasn't there as an owner and my business partners wasn't there, can the business still run? And the only way we can do that is by automating it. So we do automate it and we use tools like Asana to automate our project management. A CRM, the CRM is like the dashboard of a business. You need a CRM as a
absolutely.
dashboard to our salespeople. We use Delight CRM. I think it's delightcrm.io is the one we use. And that's a great one. And then we automate the process of getting leads, right? So we use a tool called dominateb2b.com to automate leads, which scrapes emails and things like that. We have a proprietary tool to do that for Facebook and LinkedIn as well. So I think automating is really important.
Great. If you can probably elaborate a bit more in terms of how it plays a key role in lead generation and sales funnel to maximize conversions and minimize manual effort. Because when we talk about automation, these are like tried and tested methods, and we automate them to save time and increase the efficiency. So, how do you drive home generating more leads, strengthening your sales funnel using automation techniques?
Okay. Yeah. So the way it works is we hear the word funnel all the time. And some people say, oh, you don't need a funnel, or you do need a funnel, or whatever. A funnel is just
Mhm.
an image of the way, the process, the way things work. And you can make a funnel in any way, but we need some kind of system in which it guides everyone to one point. And so for some of you, it might be a landing page. Okay.
Mhm.
For some of you, it might just be like a form. For
Mhm.
others, it might be a phone call. Okay.
Right.
So the point is, from there, we need to find all the different places. And the secret is find out where the people I want to talk to hang out.
Mhm.
If I want to talk to mothers because they're my favorite client, I'm going to say, where do they hang out? Where do they hang out on Instagram? Maybe they're under the hashtag mompreneur. Maybe they're under the hashtag women business owners. Maybe they're under these hashtags. If I'm talking about in person, maybe they're at the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe they're at the YMCA. If I'm talking about finding veterans, right? So I'm going to go to, if I'm doing it on Facebook, they're probably hanging out in veterans groups. If they're on Instagram, they're probably hanging out in these places. The key is find out where they're hanging out in as many places as possible, where, their emails, all that stuff, and pick one tool to automate that process and bring them down the phone.
Absolutely.
And then you connect a whole bunch of tools together. And so now you have one eventually bringing you leads from email, and you have one bringing leads from Facebook, and you have one bringing you leads from advertising, and you have one automatically doing phone call. And it's a
Mhm.
scalable system, one at a time. Just pick one. If you want it, all of them work. Don't let
Mhm.
anyone say, oh, this is better than this and this. That's not true. All of them work.
Okay.
System.
Great. You spoke about social media, how you add value to marketing, create ways of generating more leads via social media for your clients. How do you go
Yeah,
about doing that?
that's a great question. So we have a system that we call Dominate LinkedIn, which we created by accident. It was natural. What we did was we needed to fill up our calendar. And so how we started filling up our calendar was we started writing a phenomenal message, an irresistible offer. And then we were thinking of who could benefit from this offer. And we would use Sales Navigator to make this list of
Mhm.
all these people and then reach out to them with this phenomenal offer. That's how it started off. And when we created this system, it started taking off. We were able to get 15 calls, 30 calls, 50 calls, and we started booking it like that. Then we followed the same process on Facebook and going into groups and doing the same thing, creating an irresistible offer,
Mhm.
making a list of people and finding these people in groups or hashtags or wherever, different pages, comments, go to an advertisement, look at the comment thread. There's many ways. And you find these people, you make a list, find out who would be the best target, and you reach out to them. It's the
Right.
same thing back in the day when you had to knock on doors, right? Now you
Right.
don't need to knock on doors. Now you need to DM people. You need to PM people with an amazing offer. And so it doesn't matter what social media you use. The question is, where are the people I want to talk to hanging out, and message them with something irresistible.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, messaging them over their social forums. Talking about lead magnets, right? So, what is your opinion on the effectiveness of lead magnets in the conversion funnel or the customer journey? And what type of lead magnet do you feel converts the best as per your experience of working with your clients so far?
I'm going to say this. When I teach, I say, ignore strategies. Pay attention to principles. Principles can never, ever change. All
Mhm.
strategies are built around principle. Okay. So the lead magnet
Mhm.
is value. There's this
Mhm.
saying that it's never the price. It's
Mhm.
always the value to what they're willing to exchange for the value. And so if
Right.
you give ultimate value, then you're willing to exchange it. If I said, I'll give you $1 million or I'll pay all the bills for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
some people would be more valuable to pay your bills for the rest of your life. And for other people, it would be for you to give them the $1 million. So
Right.
the point is, the principle is giving value. How can I give this person the most value possible? And then you present it in that way through your images, through your texts, through everything, right? So if you want someone to buy your weight loss program, you don't
Mhm.
just say weight loss program, $500. You say easily and quickly lose 15
Very,
pounds in the next
yeah.
30 days, guaranteed, or all your money back for only that
Right.
tiny thing is value. We're solving problems. So that is the only lead magnet that's the only one that exists is
Right.
value. Everything else is just a different version of values. Find your way to give that ultimate value.
Very nice example there. Great. Talking about, we are in the age of, like we were discussing the other day about automation, a lot of chatbots coming in, less and less of human interaction happening. According to you, how can businesses leverage chatbots and other automated tools around on social media to generate more leads and streamline their lead nurturing process?
Yeah. So it's learning to use the tools, but still add personality and still add flair
Mm.
because those AIs are limited and
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
still crave the human touch to this day, right? If I'm trying to do something on the internet and it's taking too long, I'd just much rather talk to a person. So I will call or text and other people will do the same. So as long as you can, even if you're using this AI stuff, learn to do what's called spinning, right? So don't just say hi there. Say, hey, hello, hoorah, what's up? Find a million ways to say these things. Find ways to be personal. Look up their information, their website, and all of that stuff first. So that when you start making this, you can find ways to change the copywriting and change the messaging so it feels personal. Why? Because using the examples before, weight loss, by
Mhm.
saying, I can help you lose or easily and quickly lose 30 pounds in 30 days, right? That will do nothing for me, the skinny guy, losing 30 pounds like me,
So
right?
you're lucky that way. Yeah.
Exactly. If it's targeted specifically to me, if it's something for me, I'm more likely to buy it. Mine might be gain 15 pounds of muscle in the next 30 days, guaranteed for people with anorexia. That's targeted. That's specific. That helps a certain demographic. And that right there can be sold for 10 times more than gain 15 pounds or lose 15 pounds. So that ability to be specific, that ability to be personal, that ability to say them forever. Imagine if I, instead of saying, I can make you $100,000, I say, I can make your company, Let Us Stream Marketing, $100,000 because I've already reviewed your website. I already reviewed your stuff. I know a bunch of things about your company and the way you're working already and can guarantee this for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talking about leads, prioritization of leads via different mechanisms, scoring is obviously one of them, so that you are touching base with the hot leads out there before moving ahead or deeper into the list. As per you, what are those techniques to prioritize your leads coming from multiple sources? And what factors should businesses consider while filtering out those leads?
One thing I've learned over the years is we always know quantity over quality or quality over quantity, right?
Yeah.
So that's for me, quality leads are better than a lot of leads. So what we do instead is first we create really qualified lists because I'd much rather get 10 people to pay me $10,000 than 50 people to pay me $2,000 or what bad math, whatever it is. But that's the point. So I'd much rather have 10 clients paying me way more money. And so I'd much rather have qualified leads. Before I used to have 50 leads a month, but only 1% of them were interested because they were just random leads. They weren't qualified. I don't want to waste my time anymore. So instead, qualify your leads, really determine how much money you want them to make. Make sure they make a minimum of $2 million. You can find that. Make
Right.
sure they have at least 10 employees. Make sure they need your product before. And if you do that, you can minimize the amount of bad quality leads And then it'll be easier when you're reaching out to them on social media, Facebook, and all of these different things. The other thing is you can think of companies of leads as leads instead of people. That would make a huge difference because then you can qualify a company and say this company makes $50 million, but they have 100 employees. I can talk to all 100 employees until I get this company to work for me or work with me. So that's a different way you can think about it. So I can talk to the owner and the marketing person and the CEO and the CFO and all, the chief operations officer, and one of them might find value in my product. And so now you can make bigger deals in that way.
Absolutely. Understanding the quality and the volume of the lead versus just going after all the leads out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you did mention about tracking leads over LinkedIn. As per you, what type of content, because that is also very crucial, someone reads through it before actually clicking on it. So what type of content do you think is most likely to generate leads? So keeping LinkedIn in the discussion right here.
Just in general, content that gives them more information than you trying to get their information. So things to focus, right?
Very
The
nice.
three things to focus on is you want people to engage in your stuff. This is how you get people to engage. Information being information or educational. Okay. What's called showmanship. So being real, like showmanship, making an awesome spectacle, making it something really interesting to click on. And then, or providing them with a lot of value, like something free, things like that, where you're not asking for things in return. These are the things. A great example is you see a lot of marketing companies say, I will give you a free audit. That's not actually valuable because to them, they're not receiving something physical that's benefiting them in the future. So a lot of people, they're just like, what's an audit so you're just going to audit me or you're just going to come in for me. It feels self-serving. Okay. But if you say, I will give your website a free audit and a free marketing plan worth $500 that you can use with or without me, now you're giving them extreme value. So information, education, and using showmanship, getting people to engage, giving really good stuff and lots of value. Those are the ones. That's how you get leads.
And then before we let you go, one last question, Matthew. What is your opinion on brand awareness campaigns versus heavily targeted campaigns for conversions?
There is no versus. There shouldn't be a versus. They have two different goals, right? They have two different goals with two very different purposes that are helping each other. Point brand awareness is you get your name out there and you build reputation. And reputation is actually a brand is. Brand just means it's the business word for reputation. Okay. So you're building your reputation. Your reputation lasts longer, is more permanent, and gets you more referrals and longer lasting clients, right? Than instant sales conversions. Now, sales conversion pays the bills. Those are important. It pays the bills. It gets you customers right away. It gets you sales right away, but it does not build any long-term value just from selling them. Now you need to provide value and give them your brand awareness. So no matter what, you end up giving brand awareness either first or second, doesn't matter. So there's no versus. You need two campaigns, one to raise your brand awareness and your reputation and your credibility and your authority, and one to get you sales, because this is going to serve you now and this is going to serve you forever.
Absolutely. Because brand awareness part also gets you repeat customers. If I talk about it from a sales value as well, because
repeat customers, referrals. So these are the things that matter. You want people to keep coming back and you want them to bring all their friends. I've gathered to 1,000 people and those 1,000 people talk to 1 million. Then me tried to talk to 1 million.
Million people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great, Matthew. It was lovely having you on our show. I am sure that our audiences tonight would have benefited a lot in terms of what they heard from you about SEO, digital marketing at large. And we'll try and get hold of you for another episode sometime down the line for a more detailed one. But yeah, really, thank you so much for taking out time for our podcast.
Yes. And thank you so much for having me on, everyone. Check out our business. Let Us Stream Marketing. Check out the book, Never Be Poor Again. Reach out to me, become friends with me, ask any advice you want, or to my business partners, Drew and Gabriel. We'd really appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Matthew. Have a great day. Cheers.